Are you on the hunt for homes in Markham but don't know what 1.2 million or less could get you? And if you are like my current client, who is a couple with two little boys, one being 4 and 6 years old, but have no clue about the real estate in Toronto. If that sounds like you, let's get through this analysis and find out what this budget could get you here in Markham, Ontario. Hi there, welcome back to AV Team Real Estate channel, and as usual, I'm Antonio, the local real estate agent in the GTA. If you don't know by now, I post all related real estate content in Toronto. If you find this helpful, all I ask is for a little support that won't cost you much, but please like and subscribe to our channel so that I can feel it is much more worthwhile to keep creating videos just like this. And of course, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, feel free to book a call with me with the first link in the description, or simply call or text me at the number on the screen and I'll glad to help. So get that out of the way and let's look at the general area in the York region, but specifically Markham. I guess the simplest way is to Google and see what the demographic of Markham are and see for yourself. As you can see, the first thing you see from Google is that almost 40% of people in Markham are East Asian. Over 27% are white, over 19% are South Asian, and 1.9% are mixed race. And not surprisingly, the large visible minority population are that of the Chinese, making up 60.21% of the total visible minority population. Further down, you could also see that many Markham residents came from Hong Kong, fleeing before the British handed control to China in the late 1990s. Now that we understand the demographic, let's take a look at the many areas within Markham. So here's a map of Markham with different neighborhoods. In the early 1990s, many Hong Kong immigrants moved to most areas in the southern part of Markham, such as Thornhill, Bayview Glen, German Mills, Milliken Mills, East and West, Middlefield, and so on. As time goes on, this area becomes very crowded, and the newer area in the north and east become more popular as new developments. Here is the map of the city of Markham, where the darker blue area means the higher density of people. As you can see, the southern part of Markham in Milliken was the denser area, but it has now spread to the north and east of Markham. Overall, there are an abundance of great schools in the city of Markham. Almost every neighborhood, beginning with Unionville, Cornell, Greensborough, Wismer, Bercy, Angus Glen, Cascade, and Cathedral Town has excellent schools with wonderful environments and plenty of parks and green space. Okay, let's talk about Cornell, the northern eastern part of Markham. Most of the houses are townhomes, semi-detached or detached houses with garages at the rear. One of the most important aspects for my client to consider this area is for their children. According to AreaWipes.com, schools is rated A+, and you could find, for example, the likes of Cornell Village Public School that cover from JK to grade 8, and Bill Hogarth Secondary School from grade 9 to 12. Some of the key findings that include school test score in Cornell are 16% higher than national average. There are approximately 7 public schools in Cornell. What about the type of home that could be bought with a budget of less than 1.2 million? My client ideally wants a detached home with a big backyard and plenty of space, but let's dissect a little bit more of the neighborhood here in Cornell Markham. This is the list of homes that I pulled out of all the detached homes that were sold in the past 90 days. Quickly, you can tell all the homes were sold for more than 1.3 million up to 2 million as of today at the end of September. There is really no chance to buy a detached home with this price range. If we compare that to the average from TREP Market Watch for all of 905 area, which does partially include Markham, they are well in line with the detached home average sales price of 1.3 million. Just wanted to clarify that this average price includes all 905 area that include these neighborhoods. For York region only, for all detached home in August at 1.79 million, which is also much more than the budget of 1.2 million. The next choice is semi-detached houses. Immediately I pull up the list of homes, and the good news is that the averages of the past 90 days are about 1.1 million. So this could definitely be the target for those with a 1.2 million budget. The reason why I said it is a great buy today is because if you look at the prices at the peak for the semi-detached in Cornell back in January, we've seen from this list that many were sold at around 1.4 to 1.6 million during the peak. That is a solid 400 to 500,000 down from the peak. To summarize, the average price for semi-detached in Cornell over the last 90 days was around 1.1 million, which is still higher than the TREP average price in August for semi-detached in the 905 area at 942,628 and close to the semi-detached for the entire York region at 1,047,822 in average prices. And if you're like my client who also wanted to explore options at the freehold townhouse so that they could be more comfortable, this is the list that I pulled out for the past 90 days. The overall trend has come down, and the average for the past 90 days has been hovering around 1.048 million. That is actually not a significant difference between the semi-detached homes in Cornell. However, it is much more difficult to find a semi-detached where townhouses are far more common in the area. Townhouse prices have also decreased significantly from their high in January and February. At their peak value were sold for between 1.2 and 1.6 million. The average sales price in this area has fallen significantly to 1.048 million. Now, to summarize it all for Cornell in Markham, if you have a budget of under 1.2 million, as of the recording of this video in late September, you have a choice of a semi-detached or a freehold townhouse. If you are looking into this area, I hope this helped you understand. Okay, moving on to the next neighborhood in Markham, and this is Greensborough. Greensborough is right northwest of Cornell, and again, it is excellent area for schools and also has a great number of freehold homes in the area that include detached, semi-detached, and townhouses. According to areawipes.com, the school is rated A+, and similar to Cornell, it has a total of 6 schools that include public, secondary, and Catholic school. It seems that it might be rated a little bit better than Cornell. Let's look at the detached home in Greensborough now. Could you find luck with the budget of 1.2 in this community? Well, most likely not. Here are the recently sold homes in Greensborough in the past 90 days. As you can see, the average sales price is above 1.5 million. Once again, Greensborough is still higher compared to the TREP 905 area of detached homes, whose average sales price in August was 1.313 million, and like the York region overall average of 1.579 million. The next home types is semi-detached. Similarly to Cornell, Greensborough semi-detached average sale price for the past 90 days is roughly about 1.19 million. And that is still barely within the client's budget. Again, in similar fashion, the semi-detached homes in Greensborough were sold for north of 1.5 million during the peak in February and came down all the way to our current 90-day average selling price of 1.19 million, which is quite significant. However, we can see the number of sales is significantly lower. The next home type is a freehold townhouse. If you are still confused between freehold or condo townhouses, just remember that condo townhouses usually carry a maintenance fee, but the freehold usually does not, but still sometimes has some portal fee. If you want to learn more, click on the link in the top right hand corner for the detailed video on information about the types of townhouses. As usual, the townhouses are also trending down in Greensborough. As you can see, since July, the prices have started to fall below 1 million. The average sales price for the past 90 days is still hovering around 1.01 million. The price was at its peak during February and March at around 1.4 million. This is still a significant drop since then. In general, Greensborough is still slightly cheaper than Cornell. I don't want to make the video too long, so I will talk about the neighborhood in Wismer to end this video. Maybe I will leave other neighborhood for another video, or make sure you comment down below for next neighborhood or area you want me to cover so that I can create that video just for you next. Wismer is just west of Greensborough. As we approach closer to 404 being more west, the house value usually increases. The schools in this area are also excellent. Again, according to areawipes.com, the school rating is A- with an abundance of elementary and secondary schools in this area. Some of the key findings are that the school test score in Wismer are 9% lower than the national average. We also have around 7 public schools with a high percentile of people with a high online education. I tried to pull the selling prices of detached homes in Wismer over the previous 90 days, and we can easily see that prices fluctuate from 1.9 million in July to roughly 1.6 million in late September. Even if there has been a dramatic decline, my client's budget of 1.2 million is still well over. For the previous 90 days, the detached house average has been about 1.74 million. If you are looking in Wismer for a detached home, the price has dropped significantly since the peak in February. As you can see, homes sold as high as 2.4 million in February and as low as 1.6 million in late September. This is a whopping 500 to 800,000 drop. Of course, I'm not making a full analysis because the condition, the feature, the size of a home could be different. Next, we examine the semi-detached home in Wismer for the past 90 days. They are still ranging from 1.2 million in June to 1.3 million in mid-September, with an average of 1.26 million, which is hovering over the budget for the client. This also showed that as we go west more, the house values tend to increase more. As we can see, during the peak in February, the semi-detached home in Wismer was selling at about 1.4 to 1.5 million. This is also a significant drop of about 200,000. Unfortunately, semi-detached in Wismer is still higher than the client's budget. Now, on to the next category of freehold townhouse in Wismer. Surprisingly, the townhouse in Wismer are quite similar to semi-detached home in terms of average prices. The prices were 1.4 million in July and held on to 1.2 million in mid-September. However, the average prices for townhouses in Wismer are still hovering near 1.3 million, which is even slightly higher compared to the semi-detached. Don't forget, we are working with extremely low sales, so averages could be skewed by a single home that sold for more. So in general, townhouses in this area are still a little far-fetched for my client with a budget of 1.2 million. If we check the townhouses prices in February, they are also sold as high as 1.5 million in this area. So therefore, there is still a 200,000 discount from the peak. I guess now I have covered the three neighborhoods in the northeastern part of Markham for detached, semi-detached, and townhouses in Cornell, Greensborough, and Wismer. I hope you have a clearer picture of the prices in this area, and perhaps next week we could take a look at other neighborhoods on the northwest side of Markham. If you enjoy this type of market update, please smash the like button and also consider subscribing to our channel. It would be greatly appreciated. And if you are interested in buying or selling in this area, don't hesitate to contact me with the information on the description. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.